Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to the GavGoesIn podcast. Just waiting on a couple of the man them to come through. Um, don't forget, guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to my channel at GavGoesIn. Just gonna check out where the mans are. Just give me 1 minute. Just what's in the link over again. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good,
Okay.
man. All good.
Oh yeah.
How you been? Been alright?
Bro, I'm baking. I'm baking.
Yeah,
How
England.
about you?
Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been good, man. Just been outside in the garden today. Just enjoying this weather. Obviously, as you know, English weather don't last too long. So yeah.
What is it now?
Say again?
What's it like now?
I'm not even too sure. I reckon it's probably about what? About 20, 23, 24, I'd say.
23, 24.
Yeah, I reckon it's about 23, 24. Uh,
Bro, at nighttime it's like 27, 28 over here.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's too hot for me, man. I can't take this heat sometimes. I mean, if there's like a little bit of wind blowing, I don't mind. But if it's just pure hot, yeah, it's not for me, man. But yeah, I suppose we've got to try and enjoy it when we can.
Definitely.
I'm just waiting for my other guy to come through, but we'll get started anyway, and he can just jump. He can just jump in when he's ready.
All right, cool. What do you want to talk about?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! So,
Don't talk about transfers.
all right. Well, that was gonna be my first one. The latest news, obviously. I know you've heard. Obviously, Ten Hag signed his new contract till 2026.
Okay.
Yeah, he signed it, man. I was kind of hoping negotiations would break down, but yeah, obviously it wasn't to happen. But I think the fact that Ineos have, they've got other people in situ coming in. Obviously, you got Van Nistelrooy, which I'm very happy about. He's going to be a head coach as well. And then you got a guy I don't really know too much about called Rene Hack, I think his name is, from Go Ahead Eagles in Holland. Obviously, he's going to come through as well to be part of the staff with Ten Hag.
Yeah.
For me, I think I believe that's Ten Hag's. Well, I believe it's Ten Hag's power kind of um, diminishing in a sense. Obviously, the new contract's gonna obviously have certain things in there as well. But I think the fact that you've got these two guys coming, people will
Yeah.
say, that's Ten Hag's choice. But I think it's a case of, especially with Van Nistelrooy, um, he could eventually be taken over. I believe if things don't go too well, because I
Could
still don't
do.
believe that Ineos are entirely happy with Ten Hag. Um, but yeah, I think it's just it's one of them things we have to wait and see.
The thing, okay, my question for Man United would be,
Mm,
you know how everyone said we're waiting for Ten Hag board? So always sign these players, now we can play the way he wants.
yeah.
He came out and said, "Oh, I can't play the way I played at Ajax. I
Mm,
have to play the Man United way."
mm,
Now, I don't know if that was lost in translation because at Ajax, for example, he was the head coach.
mm,
He wasn't the director of football, and he couldn't change the overall direction of the club's style
yeah.
and ethos. At Man United, I don't know who was controlling that. So there's an argument to say, how much can you blame Ten Hag
Mm,
for what was going on at Man United behind the scenes if he was, for example, signed as a manager, but only in part. So he had like powers to veto certain stuff or to make certain changes. But like at Man United, you've had a problem with player power and issues with the backroom staff, which is the most important thing that Ineos has changed,
mm.
right? So there's a chance that he could still be that manager, or sorry, that head coach that you guys wanted from Ajax. It just depends on how you guys want to play going forward.
Yeah. What
I
the thing
would,
is, I think the first thing you said there was that when he said about he couldn't play the Ajax way.
yeah,
Now I think that can be taken I think in a few ways. For me, he's maybe saying he needs more players from the Ajax team or the way that Ajax play to be coming in at United.
Yeah.
Um, or the current players he has now and the players that he has brought in are not conducive to playing the Ajax way. Now, the problem is for me is that we brought him in for that. You know what I mean? We didn't bring him in to be playing pragmatic football because otherwise you'd have just got someone else, a proven winner, to play that way.
Yeah, but
Or in a sense, you would have just kept social, really. You know what I mean?
the question is, yeah, you
Mm,
know, how everyone talks about, oh, that's not the Man United way.
yeah.
I've heard people talk about Liverpool as well when it comes to attacking football under from Jurgen Klopp going to Slot,
Mm,
because Slot is more controlled in the build-up, for example.
yeah.
And someone would say, oh, but you need to utilize the Anfield atmosphere, the
Right.
crowd, and just go for it, which is true, but you can still control that chaos to some extent.
Mm,
But if you look at our past managers and, for example, you just highlight our European success. Our European success in the past, like, 20, 30 years has been under Klopp and Benitez.
yeah.
Two very different managers, very different in their styles. But I
Mm,
would say, for example, the Liverpool actual style is just attacking football. The Man United style of play is just attacking football. Like in the past, you had your wingers, you had flying wingers, you had wingers who crossed a lot, you know. But that's not really the Man United way. The Man United way was just to play attractive football
yeah.
that won stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, both any team that either of us have had that has won anything has been defensively sound. So a lot of our managers, Klopp did it the other way around. He went attack first before he really solidified the defense. But defenses win things in general. Everyone says it is true. So if Ten Hag, for example, is in, let's say you're doing an Arsenal, it's a project. So
Mm,
it makes sense that he's building the defensive side of it. The only thing that didn't make sense is that the style of football changed. So say if he continued being defensively solid,
mm,
like he was against City in the FA Cup final, yeah?
yeah.
If he continued being defensively solid, then build off of that, that would have made sense. What didn't make sense is what he started playing like last season. None of that made sense. So that's why I would say it depends on what is said behind closed doors,
Mm.
because it's not just the manager can do whatever he wants. This is a big company he's working for. That's why I don't know how much I could say we've seen the real Ten Hag, for example.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I can kind of see where you're what you're saying with that. I mean, as we know, United now have a structure finally in place to try and get the best from the manager. Um,
Yeah.
but I just think that when he's saying he can't play the Ajax way, as I said, it's either a cry for help for the management to give him more players, but then the players that you have brought haven't really put up any trees anyway. So um, and I believe as well, United have been playing the worst football in the league. So the very fact that he comes in saying he can't play the Ajax way, there was no reason to bring him in the first place, And I think what's happened now is that there's no hiding space for him now because
So hold on. Did he say that he can't play the Ajax way, or is that
he said he can't play the
is
Ajax way, and it's left open for interpretation because it's like
okay?
you either can't play that way because you don't have enough of the players that you had at Ajax, but then you brought in players to kind of play that way. And then my thing is, if you can't play that way, we brought you in to play that way. So it can be taken in two ways. It's a cry for help to get more players in,
Yeah.
or he's just taking the piss really and just saying that he can't play that way and he's reverting to something which the players that he has.
So
Now,
why do you think if that was the case, you take that logic, why
yeah.
do you think they've made him sign a contract now?
There's
I,
nobody else out there.
yeah.
Sorry,
What you
sorry
saying
to
now? You're
jump in
good?
like that. No, I'm
So
good. I'm good.
so is effectively an interim manager.
Go on. I'll let you jump in, Alex, man. Go on.
Because you
Let
could
you
you,
jump
you
in.
could have brought in Van Nistelrooy for that, correct?
Yeah.
Then there's no real need for him to sign an extension.
I think it's financial, personally. I think it's
Mm,
financial.
I think it would have been too much of a risk to bring in Van Nistelrooy. I think if you're gonna get interim, you probably might as well just go for Ollie again on a temp.
Yeah,
Is
but
he at
then
least?
don't you think Ali's got too
but
much
Van
stigma
Nistelrooy's
about
coming
him?
in.
Like,
Hmm?
Van
go on.
Nistelrooy is coming in as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
but if
is.
you look at the optics, yeah, let's say you brought back Ali. Ali
Yeah.
has too much stigma around him, even though Ali actually wasn't that bad. Yeah, too much stigma around him. The fans will turn on him faster than they would turn on a Van Nistelrooy. The fastest the fans will turn on anybody is Ten Hag. So from the optics perspective, which you say the Man United board are all about, the optics of the thing, it doesn't make sense to sign into a contract extension if you don't think that he can coach a team well.
Maybe that's why they've probably got like the likes of Jason Wilcox and all them lot in the backroom staff who can really like look into the team and probably look over his shoulder a bit more. So that way they could be like, listen, okay, maybe you're not talking to him in the right way to get the best out of him. Talk to him this way. And I think maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy might have that, but I just think the fan service will turn on him quickly because, yeah, he was a former player. Yeah, he was a top goal scorer. But what credentials does he have? Do you know what I mean? He may have done bits and bobs in Eredivisie, but that's Eredivisie.
But I can see the fan base, the United fan base, having more time for him if they have the understanding that he's an interim manager.
I mean, you could say that, but we said the same thing about Ralf Radnick. He was an interim and no one knew
Yeah,
what
but nobody
interim
expected
was.
him. Wasn't he supposed to be like backroom staff?
Yeah, he was
Well,
supposed to.
Ralph was meant to be the guy upstairs, and massive mistake in letting him go, really, because
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. With